But Judaism teaches that that's a false way of finding yourself. That the only way that a person can really find himself is by attaching himself to others. That if a person tries to just look at himself, he'll soon become alienated, and he'll feel alone, he'll feel miserable, and he'll feel depressed. The only way you can realize your full potential, that you can answer all the challenges of life, that you can really do tshuva, is to attach yourself to a family, to a group, is to assume responsibility for others. And that's why the family is so very important in Judaism. Because we believe that man reaches his highest state when he interacts with others. It's not right that you should be a self-contained person. In fact, one story is told about one of these self-contained philosophers who brought a piece of cloth to London and asked the tailor to make him a suit. And the tailor said, "There's not enough cloth here." And then he went to Paris and Rome and the same answer. Finally, he went to Jerusalem, and the tailor there said, "Oh, sure, I can make you a suit and an extra pair of pants." He came back 4 weeks later, and sure enough, so it was. And he asked the tailor, he said, "How come in Paris and Rome and London they couldn't do it, and in Jerusalem you could do it?" He says, "Well, you see, sir, in Jerusalem you're not such a big man. A big man in Judaism is one who does things for his family, who loves them and who's loved by them, who knows how to attach himself to others, not someone who roams free and thinks that's the way he's going to realize his potential." Kol nidrei, all our vows which we are likely to make, God, let us keep them.
Schwissen, beteilen betolin, la sheririn velo kayamin, niederloino,
Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are also known as Yom Haras Olam, the day the world was created. Actually, that's not a literal translation. The literal translation is the day the world became pregnant. The day of Rosh Hashanah is the day in which man, as we know him today, came to this earth. Even according to the Bible, this was not the actual day of creation. The world preceded man. What happened on this day was that man was given the potential to do good, to live a life filled with meaning, to achieve happiness indirectly. On this holiday we pray for the Chaim Tovim, for the good life, because you can only receive happiness and feel happy inside if you've done the right thing. We have a tradition that Sarah, Rebecca, and Hannah, that Sarah and Rachel and Hannah were answered on this day, that they were given a child. They wanted a child so much, because only because they could have a child could they develop themselves the way that they knew they should develop themselves. They knew that then the baby would need them. The baby would depend upon them. They'd have a chance to form and shape another human being. And that's the greatest thing that we can do, when we react with other human beings to form them and to shape them. God many times gives us great problems and great troubles, and we don't understand why this world has problems and troubles. But we also know that God gives us great hope, that if we pray to Him, He will give us the strength to overcome all our problems, that we can overcome everything. The story is told of a group of Jews who died because of an accident, and they came up to heaven, and there was no room in heaven. So God asked the devil to take them below for a few days. After they were there, one day, the devil called up God and said, "You got to take him. You got to take him." He said, "What's the matter?" He says, "They've already organized a drive to air condition the place." The way that we achieve things in this life is to work together to achieve the potential that's in this world. Our Father, our King, deal charitably and kindly with us. Each of us wants to feel pure, to feel clean. On Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, we ask God for forgiveness, for God to give us a second chance, so that we can realize the potential that we all have, so we can be the kind of human beings that we really should be. The rabbis say that it's not enough that God covers up our guilt or even forgoes punishment. What we human beings really want is to feel pure inside, to feel happy with ourselves, so that when we look in the mirror we can say, you're a good human being. You may have made mistakes, but you've tried to correct them. You may have done things that you are now ashamed of, but you've tried to correct them, and God is giving you a second chance. In Hebrew there's several words for forgiveness. There's kapora, there's mechila, and there's salicha. Salicha means, God, let us be pure inside. God, help us to live with ourselves. The hardest thing in the world is not to live with others, it's to live with yourself. In order to do this, we have to be rigorously honest. We have to help ourselves. That's why there are two meanings to the word chayim. Chayim is plural. We want an outside life, a life outside us that's good and right, and most importantly, we want a life inside us that's right and good. The story is told of a man who was walking, and his friend said, it's raining, open your umbrella. He says, I can't. He says, why can't you? He says, it has holes in it. He says, well, then why'd you bring the umbrella? He said, because I didn't know it was going to rain. Unfortunately, that's the way many people are. They're not concerned with reality, only appearance. God, let us be pure, and comes from dust and ends in dust.
This has been Sunday Devotion featuring the United Orthodox Synagogue under the direction of Rabbi Joseph Radinsky with cantor Irving Dean. You are cordially invited to attend the regular services of the synagogue, which is located at 9001 Green Willow. This pre-recorded program has been a public service presentation of KTRK-TV.